Hey, what's up? And welcome to Ditty Deep Dive. This is the live stream where we bring on an artist and dive deep into their ditties. Those are their songs, in case you didn't know. We are brought to you every week by the Streamboat. I'm your captain, Justin. But every boat is only as good as its crew, so let's give it up to the finest upon the high seas, starting with Glenn Son on the knobs, making us sound good. What's up, man?
Yo.
Oh, whoa. Making everyone sound good except for himself.
Wait,
Oh.
test.
Oh,
Getting there. Hold up.
We're getting there.
I don't know.
Turn me up in the
okay.
headphones.
For some reason, that gain knob was down. Okay, my bad. Sorry about that, guys.
Sorry, dude.
There he is. There he is.
Yeah! Dude, that's honestly
What's up,
on
guys?
me, man. I think I messed with it on our last show. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about
Messed
it.
with your presets.
It's all good. I should have checked it. I usually just don't check R4, and I usually just focus on the artist. So that's my fault
Hey,
for being.
I ain't mad at that.
My
You
bad.
sound amazing.
Hey,
You sound amazing.
sounding smooth now. Hey, let's give it up to Jason Joestar, the dude always keeping us on track.
What's going on, y'all?
What up,
What's
Jason?
up, dude?
You see it, dude? Another day back at it. Me and Glenn Son had a nice day doing some bike riding, and we're charged up. We got a great artist for y'all today. So
Nice, heck yeah, we certainly do. We also got our main man up on the camera today and has been with us for the last few weeks.
Yes.
Very,
Jake Katana.
very much late shout out here, but Jake Katana,
Jay Katana in the building.
Mr. Jake Kapansky.
making all our artists look amazing with the angles.
Yes, always. And last, well, not actually last, we got two more. Let's give it up to Ryan Flord over
Kyle's not
here.
social.
Shout out Ryan.
He's always setting our lights up, should I say, and doing everything. Being a cool dude, helping us out along the way. He's been
Helping us
from the
test
very
lights.
beginning. Same with Jake. So
Helping
those
us
shout outs
test
are
lights,
well
helping us
overdue.
Test shots, all that good stuff.
Yes. So thank y'all both. And we've, as y'all know, we've shoved Kyle into the room.
You can see just a shadow in the shot. It's just
How's it going?
There he is.
Yeah,
There he is.
we got Kyle back in the room.
We keep Kyle locked up.
He wanted this.
He didn't want his
disclaimer.
face seen
He
anymore,
literally wanted
so.
this. But much love, Kyle. Appreciate you as well.
Love you guys, buddy.
It's not a prison. He's allowed out. Well, yeah, let's move this thing along. I'm very excited for this artist. He's been around for a while. Formed in 1999. He's had
Ooh, veteran.
some songs in movies, some songs in TV shows, some on Rock Band. He's had a music video played on MTV and Fuse. Shout out Fuse.
Yo, throwback. Shout out to Fuse.
Yeah, pretty sweet. It's self-described as not a band, it's an idea, right? Did I say that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Dude, let's give it up to Matthew Schwartz of Pacifico in the house.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, really excited to have you with us, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
You guys have been awesome so far.
Well, dude, I've checked out a lot of your music. You have a lot of it. An album released almost 20 years ago, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And dude, like an ever evolving sound. So kudos to that.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean,
it's-
we're all evolving people, aren't we?
Yeah. But dude, you've done a great job of having a consistent yet evolving sound. And
Thank you.
I respect that because it's hard to continue what you're doing for this long. And that's kudos to you, man.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it before the camera's on that that you just do it because you do it and because you love it, and that's what keeps it going.
Yeah. Well, that's why I can respect you as an artist, man. You can hear it in your music. So, hey, take it away, dude.
Cool. All right. Do you need me to introduce anything or just roll into this stuff?
You can do how,
All
yeah.
right. No, I'm just gonna play. You guys just want to hear me sing anyway. Caught a thought on a crosstown train in the dark. Though it sounds insane, I've lost it. I've lost it, and it felt like a shotgun shell to the heart. Though it burned like hell, I missed it. I've missed it. All in all, it's you. All in all, there's nothing left to lose. All in all, it's never all that much until it's you. Made a wish that I'd like to kiss goodbye, though I still insist on thinking. I'm thinking of a smile, fresh-faced and far away. I can't replace by drinking. I'm faking. Whoa, all in all, it's you. All in all, there's nothing left to lose. All in all, it's never all that much until it's you. It's you. All in all, there's nothing left to lose. All in all, it's you. Whoa, all in all, it's never all that much until it's you. I've looked around, there's nothing left to lose. I caught a thought on a train in the dark. A shotgun shell drove me straight to my heart. And all until it's you. All until it's you. All until it's you. All until it's you. My heart sings, it's bursting at the seams, but I can't read just what it means. 'Cause if I am right, let me know, but if I am wrong, tell me so. 'Cause I wanna fight for what I know. I finally found I'm looking for. This must be love. And was mad. I knew right then that's it. Call it fate, whatever you want. 'Cause if I'm wrong, let me know. But if I am right, tell me so. 'Cause I have a right to. I finally found I'm looking for. This must be love. Oh. And when my feet don't touch the floor, this must be love. Oh. I've been detained. Oh, what's in my brain? Yeah, I'm not the same without you, Ray. Thank you.
Oh yeah, dude. Is it true that Hanson was a pretty big inspiration for that song?
It is true, actually, yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
I know that's hard to believe, but if you go listen to this, I think it's called The Time Is Up or something like that. Put out this record in like 2012, 2013.
Okay.
And it's very Motown influenced. It's a really good record. They're one of those bands that, like, the early stuff I think is terrible, but the later stuff, they
once they grew up into musicians, and that's awesome, dude. That song's super catchy.
Yeah, I love that song.
Thank you so much,
dude. Yeah, dude. It was on Without Heroes.
Correct. Yeah.
Which was your first fully funded, self-funded album, right?
Yeah. It was my second full length. The first album was done with a label, and then the label folded, and I wanted to continue to do this, and I first tried to find a label, couldn't find anybody, and then I tried to do a Kickstarter and it failed. So then I was like, all right, well, do I end? What happens next? So then I just worked a bunch of overtime and just saved up, and I just did it in chunks. I think I started recording it in 2009 and it came out in 2013. So it took about 4 years, and it just we did just chunk at a time, pre-production, then drums, and then like bass, rhythm guitar.
You hear that? Independent artists for how long did you say it took? 4 years?
About 4 years, yeah.
4 years for a single.
Yeah.
Remember that. Some of this stuff does not just come overnight. You have to really put your blood, sweat, and tears into this stuff to make something happen.
That is true.
You don't always have somebody, putting that investment down immediately.
Yeah. I saw it also was like recorded in like 5 different states.
Correct.
Like
yeah. Drums were in New York. The bulk of it was done in North Carolina. Then the strings and background vocals and lead guitar stuff was in Athens, Georgia. And then I moved to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is where we finished it up.
Wow. Pretty wild. It took the journey with you.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it, me funding it too, is that I also, artists that are watching or that are in the room know that when a lot of times people do you favors or someone else is paying for it, there's sometimes you have to just deal with things. And so you might have a recording where you go, I wish I'd done this, or I wish I was able to do that. And so it was the first time I was able to do exactly what I wanted and didn't have to like deal with anyone telling me I couldn't,
Right. Yeah.
That was nice.
Your money's behind it, so you're going to put what you want behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also like a really cool music video for it too. With the
the guy
puppets
that did that, he made Puppet to look like me. It's at my house now, and
that's cool.
and he made this whole thing. He's a big Jim Henson fan, and he, just like Jim Henson, started with PBS. This guy has a show on PBS now called Ziggy's Art World or something like that. You can find it
Super cool.
all on YouTube, and I think you can dial it in on the TV as well.
Dude, that's super awesome. That's cool. Well, dude, you want to run another?
Sure, yeah. This is
Awesome.
off of the newest record. It's called Don't Play Dead.
Cool.
Well, try that again. Did you miss the mark? Hold for perspective. Here's a brand new start. Room for reflection. You can dwell on things, or we can let them go. Listen to your heart and get yourself out of that head. It's okay. None of this matters anyway. We all make mistakes. Hell, I made more than 3 today. So darling, don't hold back. Don't play dead. When things get hard, listen to what I've said, because it's all okay. None of this matters anyway. Alright, I don't know your feelings, but I'll fight by your side, baby. No matter what obstacle I put in your way. When the task seems too hard, your strength outweighs mine by far. Just take a bite, stand up, dust off and march. On and on and on, it's okay. None of this matters anyway. We all make mistakes. Hell, I made more than 3 today. So darling, don't hold back. Don't play dead. When things get hard, listen what I've said, because it's all okay. None of this matters anyway. Oh, oh. Yeah, it's all okay. None of this matters anyway. We all make mistakes. Hell, I made more than 3 today. So darling, don't hold back. Don't play dead. When things get hard, listen to what I said, because it's all okay. None of this matters anyway, 'cause it's all okay. None of this matters anyway. Everybody. Bop, 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 bop.
Yeah.
Thank you.
God, dude, that one's so catchy. Like,
Yeah,
I was
very
humming
catchy.
something earlier, and I was like, "What am I humming?" And it was that. Like, that's how catchy that fucking song is.
Thank you. I really appreciate
That
that.
was sipping like a cortata and like an Italian villa, some,
Yeah.
like bossa nova type
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
That's-
very bossa,
Dope.
very relaxing, vibe to it.
Dude, and the recorded version is super sick too. I was wondering how you're gonna do that solo.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was one of those songs that when I heard it mixed, like I almost cried, because I was like, that is.
That's it.
Yeah, I wanted like Earth, Wind, and Fire horns at the end, and
Dude,
I got
and the
that,
horns are
and-
great. Yeah.
It really worked out, and I'm super proud of that, how that song turned out for sure. Yeah, the song "Dancing in the Moonlight."
Yeah.
That's the feel I was going for.
Okay.
Is that kind of thing.
Dude, I really dig that song. I love it. I know the next few songs you're just going to go back to back to back. Give us a little mini concert up in here.
I don't know if you know
this
a
song
Matt.
is a tuning song.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know if you know a Matt Schwartz, but he wanted to say hey.
Oh, Matt Tam.
Is it another Matt Schwartz?
Oh, well, no, sorry. Matt T from Brumby Days.
Oh, okay, cool. What's up, Matt?
That Matt, I see. The double Matts had me kind of messed up. That makes sense now. But yeah, he wanted to say hey. So yeah, but take it away.
What's up, Matt? Shout out, Matt.
So you want me to just keep rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what's next. So during the pandemic, a lot of us musicians had nothing to do, and a friend of mine found a hard drive that had songs that I started in 2005 for my first full length that never happened, because he ended up joining a band called Manchester Orchestra, and I ended up joining a band called Monday in London. And so the songs never did anything, and we did 5 songs with drums. And so he found the hard drive, sent it to me, and so then during the pandemic, we finished it and we put it out as an EP called 05/22. And this is one of the songs from it called Suddenly.
Heck yeah.
I made a mess that I confess is directly due to stress. I'm guilty of sinning, webs that I'm spinning these days. I'll take the cake with all of my mistakes. Promises bend and break, 'cause it's just me, with you, with me, with you, with me. Suddenly the ink fades and my words just fall apart. And suddenly it hits me that we're right back at the start. Watching the sunshine, making a beeline, scorching this bleeding heart of mine. I cashed all my chips in to stop it from shining so bright. I broke the rules running, so I had to coming back around. 'Cause it's just me, with you, with me, with you, with me. Suddenly the ink fades and my words just fall apart. And suddenly it hits me that we're right back at the start, and my words just fall apart. All these nothings, they meant more to me than a million somethings ever could be, ever could be. Suddenly the ink fades and my words just. Suddenly the ink fades and my words just fall apart. And suddenly it hits me that we're right back at the start. Suddenly, alright. Suddenly, I'm going out again. A hand-me-down of friends, where the lights are dim, throwing whiskey to the wind within. Whisper a grin, turned up volume, strobe lights and limbs. Oh, tonight's the night we break this mold. Private places dripping lonely soul. Oh, I feel the bass is pumping. Oh, my heart is pumping. Dance floor brings me back to life. Yeah. Where'd the music go? Why is everything so slow? Drifting through the crowded flow we meet. Hips and hands and breath, heavy. Oh, tonight's the night we break this mold. Private places dripping lonely soul. Oh, I feel the bass is pumping. Oh, my heart is pumping. Dance floor brings me back to life. Yeah. Rhythm is a dancer. Rhythm is a dancer. Oh, tonight's the night we break this mold. Private places gripping lonely soul. Oh, I feel the bass is pumping. Oh, my heart is pumping. Dance floor brings me back to. Dance floor brings me back to life. Gripping lonely's hold. Oh, I feel the bass is pumping. Oh, my heart is pumping. Dance floor brings me back. Dance floor brings me back to life.
Hell yeah.
I'm supposed to do one more, right? Is that what we had?
Yeah.
Cool. This thing was out of tune, so I got tuned. You guys get that wonderful. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is another song off the new album. It's called Afterglow. And the music video for that was really cool, too. I'd done some music for this guy's films before. And he in kind made a music video, and it was his first time doing stop motion. But he cut everything out by hand and did it all in the style of like Terry Gilliam from Monty Python.
Hell yeah!
It turned out really, really good. Cut the lights and afterglow. No need for proof, 'cause I'll still know. Curling lips and velvet eyes. Thought alone keeps me alive. Be my beacon, guide me home. When I stumble, hold my bones. Describe to me the love we own. I'm in the dark, but not alone. Life's not where it used to be, fading from each memory. But if I'm still, I know I'll see, guided by your melody. Be my beacon, guide me home. When I stumble, hold my bones. Describe to me the life we own. In the dark, but not alone. That's it.
Man. Yeah, that's a song. I mean, not just this song, the whole album, Self Care. People should definitely go check out. But man, that song definitely hits different on that album. There's like a really nice string arrangement on that. Did you do that?
No, I another favor. There's this guy named Ardal. He lives in Baton Rouge, and he's an amazing cello player. I produced a record for a band he was in that I don't think exists anymore called Ship of Fools, and he plays cello classically, but he also plays it as well as Slash plays guitar. Like in the band, it's like an acoustic indie rock band, and he would shred.
Yeah.
There's a video of him and I at a music festival in Baton Rouge where he joined me for a song and shredded on that too. But yeah, he's just an amazing musician. I needed strings for this. I wanted cello in particular, and I didn't give him any notes. I just said, start it here, go through this, do this, and send it back to me. And the idea was that the whole bridge part of the thing where on the album where I stopped drums and the band comes in, and then it comes back to me at the end doing just that. But I wanted that to be a cello solo, but then Nothing He Sent worked, and the guy that played bass on this, I had him do upright bass, and he also just did Hofner bass like Paul McCartney too, and he did some slide stuff. His name's Peter. He's amazing. Peter Randall. You go follow him. He did slide work and sent it to me, and we were like, "That's it." And it made it sound very George Harrison-y, and I don't know. It was perfect for the song, and just kind of all came together.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful song.
Thank you.
Like with a song like that, like where do you start lyrically?
Yeah, lyrics are my least favorite thing to do. I do them last. Typically how it works is I will, over whatever time from the inception of the song to it's time to record the song, I will be working on it and saying something, and a lot of times I say kind of the same things, you know, and so I'll record a demo of me singing and then literally write down word for word what I'm saying, and then try to transcribe it and figure out what that might mean, if there's anything worth keeping or if it's all trash. This song in particular, I remember I even tried to, I was dating a girl for a while that did poetry, and I had talked to her about like helping me out with the poetry for this, and it didn't work out or whatever, but I liked the idea of this being about, I kept seeing like a dark room and maybe a candlelight, so the song itself is about losing your sight and being in a relationship with someone and losing your sight, and that you know you're going to be okay because they've got your back, basically. But it kind of just all came together, and like I really just worked. I don't know. So sometimes you're just lucky to have things fall out, you know.
Well, dude, you worded it beautifully. Beautiful music. It's a great song.
Thank you.
And then, like I said, it kind of stands out from the rest of the songs on that album, I feel like.
Yeah, there's that one, and then there's another one called Complicated Confiscated that are like the two like really low energy songs, and both of those I think really just worked out well. The latter of the two is one that I wrote about anxiety and depression that I was literally going through, and I would there was actually a time that I was in Chattanooga that I had an anxiety attack, and so I was like hanging out with friends, and I was like, I have to go for a walk, and I went for a walk, and I just kept kind of humming that melody. The words were already written and stuff back and forth to myself, and it like became my mantra for a bit, and so
it seems like like just throughout the whole album it's very cathartic. Like
yeah, I try to make every album, like being someone that lyrics are the last thing I do, and I don't really, when I listen to music, lyrics are if I know them at all, are definitely the last thing that I get to too. For me, the most important thing is the melody, the arrangement, the structure, production, all those kind of things. But I do know that lyrics are important, and for some people, that's the most important thing. So I make sure that I take care to put that effort in there and such. And this particular album, I moved back to Georgia, and I realized I had some trauma here that I had left, that it wasn't resolved, that came to the surface, and I had to work through some mental things. And I had a brother pass, and then we had a pandemic, and so I really the idea of self-care really embed itself in the album earnestly, and I think that it was what I needed, and I think that I thought that that's probably what other people are going through and maybe needed as well.
Dude, yeah, no, I definitely related really hard to that, and I appreciate you writing it.
Yeah.
You got a couple more for us?
Yeah, there's 2 more, right?
Sweet.
Yelling from
Kyle's like counting down.
Kyle from the other room. Yes.
It's like, I got my titles ready.
So I'm just gonna run through. Yeah, this one is called Annie Oakley. I'm running out for something great to scream and shout, like you go on and on about. But now how it stands, I am but merely half a man, no backbone, no leg to stand. The world stopped and you got off, leaving me here with my thoughts to think. Oh, say what you will, but it cannot help me feel like this wasn't shoot to kill. Stumbling around, making my way through this town, building it up to burn it down. But I need a push, I can't be in a rush. Lately that hasn't done too much. Stopped and you got off, leaving me here with my thoughts to think. Oh, say what you will, but it cannot help me feel like this wasn't shoot to kill. Wasn't shoot to kill. Though your hands on the gun.
Hey.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, I didn't know who Annie Oakley was.
Oh, did y'all look it up?
Yeah, I looked it up. She's a famous markswoman known for her sharpshooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any fun facts?
About Annie Oakley?
Yeah.
No.
Fun fact, I have a song.
The song is about heartache, some girl, and the last line of the song is shoot to kill. It's one of those things, I'm so terrible with lyrics that, like, when I'm singing it, I can sing it. When I have to tell it, I'm like, what are the words? Yeah, shoot to kill. Anyway, but at the end I say it was her gun or whatever. So it's about, I was like, what's a famous sharpshooter that was a woman?
Okay.
Annie Oakley. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. Done.
Yeah. I like
I
it.
don't think it's particularly about anyone in particular.
Okay. I was like, man, am I going to get some like knowledge today?
I mean, I do know that she went, like around the carnival circuits and like circus things, went town to town, and she was like, I think at the time, not just women, but men too, like the best shooter.
Yeah.
Period. Like from very far away could like shoot a card sideways, not front, but sideways and go through the middle of it and cut it in half from like stupid far, and from the hip too, like not even like, get ready and stuff. So like she was crazy good.
Badass.
But, I mean, no relation. I have no idea. I do love a good Western movie though.
Heck yeah. What's the favorite Western?
Oh, that's a good question.
Top few.
During the pandemic, I watched lots of them.
Like a spaghetti Western guy?
No, those are good. So yeah, I did watch those two. I mean, what's the one?
As a black male, what is a spaghetti Western? Can we like?
It's actually
what is it exactly?
shot in Italy.
In Italy, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're lying.
No, literally.
Wow.
Yeah. Like
And you
Sergio
can-
Leone.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and you can you would recognize the music too, like it's what you
So
think
Western, a lot of Westerns were directed by Italian dudes.
So it started in Hollywood, and then they had a die down, and because other countries would get things late, they were really into the ones, and so they started making their own, and then it came back. Same way that the Beatles, they got into rock and roll from America, that came over there, and they were late to it, but then they brought their thing here, and it was that kind of thing. So
So it got recycled.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was like,
But
Yeah, because it's funny because my grandfather and my aunt actually love Westerns, and they always make the joke there's no black people in this, but it's just entertaining. It's good.
It's
good.
I do not know the name of
good
it.
television.
There is a new one on Netflix, and
Yeah,
it's
it's a
actually
new movie.
really good.
I cannot remember the name of it either, but it's really good.
Man.
I don't think there's white people in it. I think it's
yeah. And it was really good. It was really good.
yeah.
What was your favorite Western?
Oh, so I'm trying to think. My brain is not like jumping back and forth. Man Called Liberty Valance is a really black and white one. That was really good. I mean, Django Unchained is really good. Let's see. I was talking about Westerns. I mean, that's literally what Star Wars is.
Yeah, true.
If you think about it. And the new Han Solo movie, not people liked it, but I loved it. And if you go watch it thinking it's a Western, 100% what it is. They do a train heist, and then they, it's
Yeah, I mean, if you watch The Mandalorian, that is completely
Same.
a
Yeah,
sci-fi
it has that
Western.
vibe
That's
for
like
sure.
entirely a sci-fi Western.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, are you like Clint Eastwood all the way, or John Wayne, or?
Yeah, I honestly I like the spaghetti westerns the best. Which
Yeah,
I'm trying to think about which one it is.
Once Upon a Time. and-
Yeah, that one. That's the one. Once Upon a Time and whatever. That was the best one in the West or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie was really good.
Man, it's so good. Yeah. I love me some westerns too. But yeah, that's funny. We did get to have some knowledge on the show.
I've seen a few, but I was like, what makes a Western spaghetti? Hold on. Let me before.
They don't eat a lot of spaghetti.
Oh, is that the dude? I did look it up. So is that the new one? Yeah. Okay, yeah, it looks pretty. It's got David Oyelowo, Dennis Quaid. Yeah, a lot of black folks in this bitch. It's really good. It looks so dope. Yeah.
Have you seen Flowers of the Killer Moon?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but it looks good.
Man, super good. Super
I don't know that I have the attention span to sit in a theater that long.
Dude, I know.
So I'm waiting
I
for
do feel
streaming
that.
where I can pause it and come
Yeah.
back because I want to give it the attention it deserves.
Yeah,
That's a Western that's coming out.
No, it's
mean,
not a
kinda.
Western. No, it's
Magnificent Seven's really good.
like
Oh,
brutal
yeah.
type of rough.
the
like
old
brutal?
one or
It says it's an
I
American
like
epic
them both,
Western.
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
A lot of those movies, I like them both.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
some good
Unforgiven's
remakes.
good.
For sure.
Tombstone, that was my favorite.
Oh,
growing up.
Tombstone. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Well, you got one last song, right?
Sure, yeah.
Heck yeah. Before you get to it, anyone who's watching, if you have any questions you'd like to ask Matthew, drop them in the chat. We'll ask them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Kyle also has a little Venmo PayPal thing he can throw up. So if you're.
Donate to Pacifico for any upcoming projects he's doing, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Give him some gas money. Get him a cheeseburger on the way home.
Yeah, and if you want to get your money's worth, ask me a question while you do that, and then you'll.
You get something out of it.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Heck yeah. Take it away, man.
Cool. All right. Yeah, so this year is the 10th anniversary of my second full length Without Heroes, and this is my favorite song from that album. I wanna know, dear, what it means when you left me without a sling. I need an answer to this decay. When will we hold, dear, things that I wanna love you like I'm sober. I wanna hold you when it's over. When will we get through all of this mess? I can't believe you left such unrest. And I need an answer to my heart. I hope that we can get back to the I wanna love you like I'm sober. I wanna hold you when it's over. What will I see when light comes for me? Should I let go? I wanna love you like I'm sober. I wanna hold you when it's over. I wanna love you like I'm sober. Oh, why? Why? come undone, who will you need? Who will you love when I come undone? Who will you need? Who will you love when I come undone?
Oh. Man. Lovely, dude. Is it right that you went into the studio with like out within no lyrics and finished it all in that same day?
Yeah, it was done in one day. Yeah. It pretty much had no lyrics. Yeah. Yeah, it was like the same kind of thing. I'd been saying stuff, so I had on the way there wrote down what I had been saying, and then while I was there, while other things were being tracked, I finalized it. But my buddy Jeremiah that I talked about was supposed to do that first EP with. The Manchester guys had a studio in Atlanta that they were doing, and he just gotten bored. And I'd come home. I was living out of state, and I'd come home for the holidays. Around now, actually, around Thanksgiving, I'd come home, and he's like, "Hey, I got this new board. Do you got a song? You can come in. We'll record it," kind of thing. So I came in, and we recorded that all one day. My buddy Trevor came, and then they had a studio guy there too. Jared, I think is his name. And so the four of us from nothing made the song. And the only thing that I added later before we had it mixed for the album was Shaker and Tambo.
Okay.
Other than that, everything is
Still,
exactly from
man.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like such a heavy song just for like knocking it out like that, man.
Yeah, I don't know. That song is one of those ones that like it really just came almost fully like out of me, almost fully formed. Like I didn't have to work on it much, and I think that's why it means so much too. Like it's like a lot of times as a musician, I don't feel like I'm like doing anything. I feel like I'm more like a satellite. I'm receiving a signal and I'm just putting it out there. And yeah, that's another reason why I don't want to quit, because I'm not doing this. Someone else is sending it to me. You know?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's like also like a nice release too. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure you guys know, but or any musicians that are watching, but as soon as you release an album, a single, anything you've been putting your heart and soul into, it's the duality of feeling great and feeling very relieved, but also I always get postpartum depression. Like afterwards I'm like, what now? Like, what do I do now? Like, what do I do with myself? I spent the last 4 years, whatever it was,
Right.
getting this thing done, so.
Like when you are done, is it like straight onto the next project, or do you kind of like give yourself some time just to
Oh no, I definitely
simmer?
Usually, I I go through periods where I'm like, well, I guess that's it. I'm done now. I'm not doing music anymore. And in the indie music scene too, like there's not much reward for what you do. Like you got some people that'll tell you, dude, that song changed my life, or whatever, those kind of things, which obviously means the world.
Right.
But numbers are never kind, and so a lot of times it does seem like, well, I've just spent a exorbitant amount of money, and I've got nothing to show for it. Do I do this again? Is there a point to doing this again? We live in a world too with all the streaming and stuff that the numbers don't even match. How real is any of this? Are these real people,
right.
or what's going on? So yeah, but I typically what I do is I'll release it. I'll go through depression. I'll think I'm over with music, and then stuff will start coming to me. Like I right now I'm slowly writing new stuff for something new, because it's just slowly coming. But it's I'm trying not to. I've gotten to a point too where I just don't care as much. I just I do my thing. I'm going to write. I'm going to release. I'm an artist. That's what I do. People like it, great. They don't.
Doing it because you love it.
Exactly. Yeah.
No other. Well, this is the Ditty Drop. We are now dropping the ditties. And if you have any questions, please throw them in the chat. I have a few, starting with, I saw a few old videos
Nice.
from 2005 of you performing at Swayze's. So what is like a memory? I don't want to say a good memory, because that's probably not the memory I want to know. What is a memory from Swayze's?
Yeah. So people that don't know, that aren't from the Atlanta Marietta scene, Swayze's is a venue that was in a strip mall in Marietta that was very peculiar.
Very, very peculiar.
That's a word.
place.
Lots of 14-year-olds asking for cigarettes.
Yeah, yeah. But it was something that I think is missing now. Like it.
True.
I mean, definitely, if you're a kid looking for music and where you can go see it, it is definitely harder now than it was then. So I knew Lee, the guy that started the place, and I knew him before he did it, and when he started it.
Did you ever perform in Treefort?
No, no. We performed with Treefort several times. But yeah,
Secondhand weird.
yeah, also yeah. But yeah, I support what he did and what he was all about the community, and I think that was great. And it was a strange spot, and I saw many a show there, and I played many a show there, and it just was what you would imagine. You come in and you got the concrete floors and you got a stage. I mean, I guess at first it was just all concrete, and then they built a stage, and then sound got better over time and stuff. But I played there at all the different times and stuff. And when we started, Pacifico it's at the time where everybody was doing like emo, screamo, hardcore, or punk, and we were the closest was punk, but we weren't punk. So we didn't really fit anything. But they throw us on shows with all those bands all the time, so we were always playing with. I mean, we'd be like screaming before us, then us, and screaming after us. And the good thing is that we stood out in those shows, and found some fans that way and such. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have any crazy stories. I mean, I've played for no one there, and I've played for a billion people there. I've seen people break they had a low hanging ceiling,
Like the rafters
people,
or whatever.
people broke that, and so eventually they took them out. Yeah, I don't know. There definitely was some times where we got on stage and people didn't know what they expected, and they were like, "What is this?" Like kind of thing.
They're
But
ready to throw down and throw elbows and mosh and
definitely a lot of kids asking for trying to sneak drinks and or smokes, and yeah, things going on. I'm pretty sure someone had sex in the bathroom. Normal stuff that happens.
That's just Georgia.
Yeah, it's regular video
That's
stuff.
just the video stuff.
just don't sit on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't sit on the couch.
Yeah, the bathroom itself was disgusting too. There was only one.
God, the sketchiest.
There was no door. It was just there.
Yeah. I don't think it went all the way up to the ceiling or
I'm
something.
pretty sure one time I had to use the bathroom at Swayze's and I touched everything with my foot.
Basically.
Literally everything,
And this is
Yes,
before the
you won.
pandemic. Probably.
including the door. Yeah, including the door. Everything. Not quite.
Yeah, no green room stories at Swayze's because it's just there.
Well, there is no
open.
green room.
I thought the
Yeah,
bath.
the back alley.
I thought the bathroom.
be
I
the
thought the
green room.
bathroom was the green room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can't tell the difference.
How does it feel having a album out that's 3 years away from being 20 years old?
Oh yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to put the age of the album on the spot.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I guess I've already got my first EP came out in 2001, so that would have been so it's 22 years old now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I definitely, as we're talking through this stuff, I mean, we'll be real to the people out there. It's hard for me to like. I definitely want to feel like I'm a failure. To be like, well, what was the point or why? But like I also have pointed out in the show that like I can't help what I do. I'm an artist. I'm create. But that's been my own journey. My whole life is being like, because I've had people write me emails and stuff and be like, why haven't you quit yet? Like, what are you doing? You're never going to make it kind of thing, which is not what it's I don't think anyone makes it anymore, but that's not what it's about. It's about, creating art and putting, like I said, I'd create, so I'm going to put it out.
Yeah.
But it's weird. Yeah. I mean, I will say, as opposed to some of my friends that have music that's getting close to 20, I'm not embarrassed of anything I've put out. Like I'm very proud of everything. Like the first EP we did with Matt Goldman, who, if anybody doesn't know, he's an amazing producer.
Yeah, Matt Goldman. Was that Glow in the Dark Studios?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And he made us sound incredible. And I don't know if we were that good at the time, but he made us sound good. And he helped us pick out the best songs. And I haven't listened to that in a bit, but last time I listened to it, I was like, yeah, I sound like a young kid, but like it's still pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like going back to those songs, are you ever like wanting to re-record them or anything like that? You're just done and over and moving on to what you got in the future?
I'm a big fan of art is never finished, it's abandoned.
Yes.
And I think that that's what those things are. Like, they are what they are. I mean, definitely, like we talked about earlier, like, there are songs, albums that I can listen to and I wish we had done this, or I wish I had stood up for myself about that, or whatever, but ultimately, like, it is what it is, and that's what it is. And I don't really foresee there being any reason to re-record anything. It is what it is,
Yeah. I mean, it's like you got to let your baby walk and grow on its own, and yeah, you've done all the raising you can do.
Yeah, exactly. It is that song. In my opinion, when a song is recorded, it's finished. And I typically don't play a song live unless it's recorded, because then there's the part of me that's, as a businessman, is going, what's the point of playing something live if it's not recorded, because I can't sell it, like if I play a song tonight that you can't go find now, people would be like, what's the name of that song? I can't find it anywhere. Where's it? And it would be useless to them and me. And there's actually a story, the video we had on MTV was for a song that was on our anthology album called X Multiply X, because on our first EP we had a song called Multiply, and then the labels liked it but wanted us to do a version that was closer to what was on the radio at the time, so we re-recorded it in a style that fit that, and then made a music video and all kind of stuff. But at the time we had no record deal, so we didn't have any, so people that saw that on MTV had no way to find the music, so because streaming wasn't at the time, there was no digital music. We didn't have enough money to make CDs. We burnt CDs and give it people at shows, but we did have a website, so I guess if somebody really wanted, they could get with us maybe, but it was just, stupid, It's like...
Well, that's the living and learning in the business,
Yeah.
I know, like, you started, Pacifico started out as a full band, or...
Yeah, it was, it started as a side project for a band I was in. They had asked me to write, or everyone in the band to contribute songs, but they didn't like any of my songs. And the drummer, though, he liked my songs, and he was like, let's do a side project. And he knew some bands that was big. So we started as a side project. We stole a bass player from another band, and we were a trio. And then as momentum started to happen after we had our first EP, and then we had another label contact us about doing a split, we actually did the split without the guy. But then after we had the split, we're going on tour and stuff, we decided to get a fourth guy. And then so we had two guitars. And then things progressed. They wanted our music. Everyone in the band wanted to do more of like a glam rocky kind of thing, or whatever. Like rock, the whole Strokes and Vines and all that stuff was getting bigger. And so they wanted me to be out front without an instrument and such, which for a shy guy like me was really hard at first. But then I really loved it, because I was like watching videos of Aerosmith and James Brown and like, learning moves and dancing and trying to like be this whole thing. And I really, really did enjoy it. But then we became a 5-piece. And then around 2003, we did showcases, went to New York, went to LA. And then we had a manager that wanted us to move to LA and do music full time for a year. And so we sent him all this money, and he was setting us up out there. We sold all our stuff. We got in our van. We traveled across the U.S. We got to L.A. We went to LAX. And then once we got there, he stuck us in a room with some receipts and said, I'll be right back. Look that over, and we'll talk. And I'm like, okay. And so we look it over, and he's like, well, so what do you think? And I'm like, what do you mean, what do I think? And he's like, well, that just proves that all your money is gone. So, like, I don't know where you guys are staying tonight, but you don't have any money. And I'm like, we sent you everything we have. And he's like, well, can you call your parents? And like, no, they didn't want us to be here. So we had, luckily enough, had a friend of ours. It's actually our guitarist's friend. I didn't know the person at the time. There's two girls that just moved there from Atlanta. And so we had 7 people living in a 1-bedroom apartment for about 3 months. And he did set up a showcase. We got to play the Whiskey A Go-Go, which is pretty awesome.
Sweet, yeah.
And we had a pretty awesome rehearsal studio and stuff, and like did all that and all that kind of stuff. But then when we came back, we decided to come back to Atlanta. We came back to Atlanta. The band started recording an album and then broke up. And then they were like, well, you write the songs. It's your thing. You just keep it. So then that's how it changed. And I got tired of doing, let's do a photo, and then the drummer leaves, and let's do, as you get into your late 20s, early 30s, your friends start having responsibilities. And so I was like, I'm just going to do a thing like Gorillaz or Bright Eyes or Beck or, whatever, where like I might have a band, but it's more of a collective now, and so each album or each live thing can have different members come in and out, and it'll still stay the same thing. And I'm still very much, though, like it was when it was a band, I'm very much about collaboration, like we talked about with, like Afterglow. Like, I send the song to people. I don't tell them what to do. If they gave me something and I was like, maybe not that, I might throw it back to them. But overall, I let them do their thing.
Yeah. I mean, I saw you say something about Annie Oakley, and like you just sent that song to a drummer, and you never even met the guy, I think, right?
Yeah, so
he just
the first record I did, I got to one of my heroes is this guy named Jason Martin that's in a band called Starflyer 59, and they live in Riverdale, California, and I recorded it out there. But he was like, to save money, I'm going to be in the studio with a drummer. I can have him go ahead and do, save us time and money. And I'm like, paying, like, well, the label was real small, and I was filling in the gaps and stuff. So I'm like, yes, let's do that. And I didn't know any better. Plus, he's my hero. So I'm like, whatever you want, bro, kind of thing. So he basically, I sent him the songs, and then he would send me the tracks, like an MP3 back or whatever, and then I would listen to it. And if it sounded terrible, he would cut it again. But I don't think there was really any notes. The first song on that record, the drummer starts late. He comes in the chorus, I believe. Comes in the second verse rather than I wanted him to come in halfway through the first verse. And he came in, way too late. We did a whole verse, a chorus, and then he comes in. And I was like, well, we'll fix it and when we're there, we'll cut it and move, But then we were there, and like after hearing it for a while, like I was like, it kind of works. It's kind of, building suspense, and then comes in, and that was one of those things that happened because I wasn't there when the drummer, was there.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's fucking...
And I still have never met the drummer.
Really?
Nope.
What?
Nope.
Wild. Yeah, like, what was, like, you formed a record label.
Mm-hmm.
Was that because you had to do the self-funded album, or when did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, it was during Without Heroes 10 years ago, yep. And I had an album, and I wanted to release it, and couldn't find anybody that was going to invest in it, and got tired of waiting on other people. Like, I want to put my own destiny in my own hands. And so I just, again, in addition to saving up to record the thing, then I also saved up to mix it, also saved up to master it, and then also saved up to do the art. And I released it on vinyl. And so when I did that, I was like, all right, well, I feel like it's going to look dumb if it doesn't have at least a logo. So I was like, I'll just make up a record label, look more professional and stuff. And so for a while, that's all it was for, is to release my stuff. We released that. Then in 2017, the next album, Everest, was released on that. And then in 2020, I re-released the first album, got it remastered, and put that on vinyl because I always wanted it on vinyl, but money was the issue. And then during the pandemic, I ended up, like right before the pandemic, I was producing a record for a band in North Carolina called The Menders. And they were in a similar situation. Like, we want to release something, but can't afford it, kind of thing. And I was like, I'll put it on my label. That'll be fine. So they were the first band that wasn't me that was released on it. And then ended up befriending one of my heroes, Aaron Sprinkle, who, if you've ever heard of the record label Tooth and Nail, he produced like every band that was out of that in the late 90s, early 2000s. And him and I have a podcast together, and we became friends, and he actually mixed Self-Care. And he had an album that he wanted to put out and didn't have the same situation. So I was like, all right, I'll put it on my label. And so that's kind of pretty much if there's somebody that I think is good and fits the theme, I guess, or they need help and they're a good artist, I've been helping them put out stuff. And it's just awesome. A boutique label that does 250 copies of vinyl. Once it's sold out, it's sold out. And then
that's super cool.
I help people too. Like, if those guys didn't know how to do their own distribution themselves, and I'm like, you go here, you do this, I help them find building steps and stuff.
That's cool. How many is like on the roster or whatever?
Well, I mean, so the contracts I do are just for those particularly. I got that. I don't sign them on to the, So the Menders are looking at doing another record. I'd be happy to help them produce and or release when and if they are ready. But again, money and time is always the issue. Right. Aaron is writing stuff, but I don't know if he's going to be releasing anything anytime soon or not. But we briefly talked about doing that again as well. And then I've been producing a record for a guy in South Carolina that goes by Kick Snare Crash.
He was actually
Drew.
On here. He said,
nice.
Love
awesome.
you. Yeah,
I love that guy. He's great, and we're working on tracks with him too. And the whole idea is also to release his stuff on there too. But right now, there's only been 7 releases. There's not like I'm not big into capitalism, so I'm not trying to like rush things. I'm just trying to, help people when they need help and release stuff that I think is good.
That's awesome, man. What would you say is the biggest difference of like sitting in the writer chair, singer chair, frontman chair versus the producer chair?
I think that because I've been in the studio a bunch, and especially being a singer, I think that the thing that I think lacks the most on a lot of tracks that I listen to is vocal production. People, I mean, for instance, the guys that sing in the Menders are great singers, but they also can't hear themselves. They're not like, you can be in there and go, I did that great. And I can go, it was a bit flat here. Didn't understand that word, And so being able to talk to them and help them around that stuff, but also being someone, I made sure that I learned how to play every instrument. So I don't play drums great. I don't play piano great. Guitar, I can do rhythm, but I can't play lead to save my life. But I can tone it. I can get a good tone out of any amp. I can, help a drummer find the right tone and help them, figure out different parts and stuff. Like, so I think I know just enough to be able to help people find their thing. But it's really just about, I think, to be a good producer is about just finding out what you do and where you are, where you want to be, and then helping you be the best you can be to get as close to, if not achieve, where you want to be.
Right. Yeah. And it, like me playing, like when I was in my band, it was the hardest thing was like capturing the live energy on a record. What tip would you?
I mean, I guess it depends on the band. Like typically, what I do for pre-production is you send me songs. And then I want you to send me basically 2 different playlists. One that has tones. Like, this is what I want the drums to sound like. This is what I want the bass to sound like. This is what I want the guitars to sound like. I want my vocals, whatever. That kind of thing. And then another one that's like, this is what I want the song or the album to sound like. You know, like that kind of thing. Because those are 2 different, things. And then from there, we can, if they're playing live, go see the band live, and try to figure out. But, like, ultimately, like, all that stems from the performances they give, if the drummer's in there and he's just going through the motions, it's not going to feel as urgent as it might feel live,
Yeah.
I think that usually for something like that, getting the band to play live together, whether we keep it all or not, so you have at least the drums, it's got that energy. I think that's good. And then, but mainly the drums and the bass, and then the vocals are going to be the most important things to get that across, because the vocals definitely need to also have that energy and that urgency to it. And to do that that's just going to be the vocal production that's in there. And I think that if I had to, because you got to worry about words, you got to worry about timing, you got to worry about the notes, and then you got to worry about the performance. I think the most important thing is performance over all of those other ones, and because if they can sell it, then you can, we can figure out how to make the other work, or it might not matter,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. This performance sells everything.
Yeah.
Is there any questions in the chat we got?
I think one from Kamaya, actually.
Shout out Kamaya.
Hey, Kamaya.
Where is it at? Yeah. What are your favorite lyrics from your first and last album?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where my memory is going to come in handy. The first one doesn't have very good lyrics, let's be real. Yeah, I mean, for one, I was very, very Christian at the time, and I was, 19. So what would a very Christian 19-year-old have to say to the world? Not much. But I think that I think for me, the one that stands out the most is the last song on there. It's called Paper Doll, and I think that I couldn't tell you what the lyrics are to it right now at all. But the song itself was me, unbeknownst, dealing with my trauma and basically wanting to be accepted for who I am, and not realizing I'm the one that has to do that accepting first. And then also on the other side of that, not really caring if anyone else gets on board. But I think that was mainly to my family and the church, and just in general, like constantly feeling like I was not enough. And so whether the lyrics are good, I don't know, because I don't have them in front of me. But I do think that song resonates, I think, the best, and the story or the what it's about, I think still is good. And we were going for a Foo Fighters Nirvana thing, which I think we achieved. So I think that aged well as well. And then on the newest one, I might say the lyrics for "Don't Play Dead" might be my favorite. But either that or the "Complicated Confiscated," which is about the depression, anxiety. Just because they really, because "Don't Play Dead's actually about depression, anxiety too, but they both accurately expressed what I wanted. And as for what actual words, I don't know. I just really like the whole idea of it's okay, none of this matters anyway. Like, I made more than 3 mistakes today. Like,
yeah, that one stuck out as you were just singing this one for me because I've made about 5 today. But
yeah, I mean, literally, I messed up before I started the song, so it was like perfect. I feel like I have to do that, or it's not gonna be good. But yeah, I'm really bad about that. I think that lyric wise, there's some stuff. The Everest album, I got to do lyrics with a poet. I'm a big fan of like Beach Boys, and his greatest albums, he had a writer help him with lyrics. Tony Asher on Pet Sounds, and then
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, and then Smile was done with, I can't remember his name right now, but anyway, but the point is that I got stuck. I kept my lyrics for that before I brought him in I was singing the same thing, like literally the same thing over and over in every song, and it wasn't even good. So I brought him in, and then him and I worked through it song by song, and having a new brain and talent like him, Vincent is his name, that just is amazing with words, and then for him to also believe in me and push me too to be better me. There's some really great lyrics on that. The song, what's it called? It's "The Shadow of You." That I think has the best lyrics of anything that I've ever done, and it's about long-term relationships and the stuff you have to go through. And that I think the best line is, I'm gonna put myself in a corner. Yeah, I don't know. It's in the middle of the song. It's the big thing. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Go look it up. It's there. But the very middle of the song before it comes back to the chorus is like it's like all that lies in shade. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't remember right now.
It'll come back.
Yeah,
we got another.
We're gonna recut this anyway, right?
We got one more question from the viewers, and I got one of myself too as well. Maybe you have one or two. But Scoobert Rogers is asking, what's your podcast about? Something you can tell us.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's called Moon Traveling, and it's myself and Aaron Sprinkle, and we talk about anything. Obviously, we're musicians, so we talk about music. It started for me approaching him about doing a podcast about him and his life, just because he's got #1 singles and gold records and platinum records and, done shit that I could only hope to have done, and he's one of my heroes. But in talking to him, he said, I don't want to do it unless it's about both of us, and B, I don't want it to only be about music. I want it to be about life. So I would say it's anchored in music, but it's about everything. We did one episode, which I believe is my favorite and in his top 3, that was about men and their middle-aged men making and keeping friends, which is something that A, isn't talked about, and B, is a lot harder than you may think, So we did that. We also had, we both grew up in the Christian, I said industry, that's about right. And we had this woman on that's with Stuff Christian Culture Likes, which is an Instagram, Facebook, and I think she has a website as well, where she basically shares things that happened in the Christian culture from that day or week or whatever, just to show how, not all of it, obviously not every Christian is terrible, not every religion is bad, but how the mainstream part of it, there's some really crazy stuff out there. So we had a really good episode with her. But then we also had on the singer for Acceptance, and talked about them and their recording and writing. And our last one was with Randy Torres, which used to record with Aaron at the Compound for Tooth and Nail, but then he did A&R for Tooth and Nail, and then he works doing sound design for film, and he's done the last 3 or 4 Christopher Nolan movies, including Oppenheimer. So we had him on to talk about that. So like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's very cool. What was the name of the podcast?
Moon Traveling.
Moon Traveling.
Yeah, one word. Yeah.
Nice. Are you still in midnight in London?
Monday in London?
Monday in London. I'm
No, sadly, we broke up around 2008-ish.
Oh, wow. For some reason, I thought that was like a new thing.
No, we did a reunion.
Oh, okay. That's
There was
what I
a
saw.
festival called First and Flight Fest, and last year they had us come and do a reunion. So we did a reunion show there last year, and yeah, it went good. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any future things or just kind of
If they send me some diddles, I'd be happy to play with them and see if we've still got some juice. But otherwise, no.
well, if anyone's watching in that band, send them some diddles.
Send me some diddles.
Did we have
Send
any?
the ditties.
Did you have anything, Glenson, you'd like to say before we get out of here?
I just want to say that I really appreciate the performance, man. Like
Oh,
really
thank
inspiring music, very like powerful music. Very
Thank you.
Easy to listen to, easy to get lost in for sure. I
Nice.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's tough to do. Like you had said, you didn't know how to expect some of these songs to go because you've heard it full band, and then it's like,
Yeah.
how's this going to work? And I also have been sick this last week, so I didn't rehearse for this like I might do normally. So I didn't know how it was going to go either. But the vibes are good in here. You guys are awesome, and like,
Nice.
but yeah, I definitely work really hard to make sure that my arrangements. The only thing I've got at my disposal is the song and my voice, and then dynamics. So I make sure I try to keep those, working for me.
Yeah, you do it very well.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, very well.
I,
So is that it in the chat?
Yeah, that was it.
Nobody
in the
else wants to
chat.
talk to me.
All
That's cool.
right. Yeah. Well, dude, let's give it up for Matthew Schwartz of Pacifico again. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, man. You absolutely killed it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Anyone watching, please go listen to the records on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you
Yeah, it's everywhere.
listen to music. They're killer, and you have a lot of music to catch up on because it goes back. But it's all super good. Like I said, the sound evolves as you go, so definitely check that out. Again, thank you so much for coming on the show,
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I had a great time.
dude. We had a good time too. I think I can say this for all of us. We really appreciate it. Again, I got to give a shout out to Jake Kapansky on the camera.
Shout
one
out
last
Jake
time.
Katana, man himself.
And Ryan. And
Ryan.
this is the Streamboat. This was Ditty Deep Dive. Pacifico killing it. Please subscribe, like, do all that shameful stuff we got to ask for.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. Have
See
a good
y'all
one.
next Saturday. Tune back in.
Sweet. Thank you, man. Freaking killed it.
Dicky.